Hey, loves, and welcome to season 4. Yes, season 4 of the Thrive Like a Mother podcast. And y'all, it's been a minute, right? I have really missed being in this space with you all. And I really am so excited to kick off this new season with y'all because there has been so much that I have been reflecting on, walking through, and honestly, y'all growing into. And so, with this episode, I really want to share with y'all all the things, right? All the things, all the life updates, what has been shifting in my business. And honestly, we're going to talk about the energy that we're bringing into this next chapter of the podcast. And so, I'm really excited. I really just want to jump straight in, honestly, to a conversation that I had with my oldest a little while ago. And she was asking me if our family was rich, right? The things that kids ask us, right? And honestly, without skipping a beat, I told her that when you truly believe that you are provided for in every way, that means mind, body, soul, then yes, not only are you rich, but you are wealthy, right? Because the truth is that all the material things, they fade away. They don't stay with us. They don't get to go with us whenever we move on from this world. Truly, what stays with you forever is you, right? You're what stays with you. And when you are taking care of yourself, you are carrying wealth in a way that no one is able to take away, right? And so teaching her in that moment, it was like, it's always that moment when your kids ask you something and you get to reflect on how to respond to them. And then it gives you a word and you're like, whoa, I really need to be following exactly what I'm teaching her, right? And so for me, this past summer, as we're creeping into fall, very exciting, but this summer was a summer of wealth and rest and realignment for me. It was truly a moment to pause, come back and meet myself again as now a mama of 3, as a woman in business, and as someone who is committed to truly living in alignment with what my purpose is. And it was also a rare moment that is no longer rare for me because I am building it into my life. But it was a moment for me to rest without feeling guilt. And that in itself, y'all, that inkling in itself was transformational for me. It's why I'm showing up differently this season and why you're going to be seeing the shifts that you will see. And so let's chat a little bit about life updates, about what filled my cup over the summer. Yeah, it was the intentional time spending with my family. Before starting the summer, I had a chat with myself and also with my boss and just made a decision that every single week I was going to put to use my paid time off, but I was very intentional about it. I took every single Friday off because those normally are my lighter work days. And I took those days off so that I could spend them with Olivia during her summer because she did not have summer camp this year, and things like that. And so I wanted to make sure her summer wasn't just, first of all, sitting at home, on the tablet or watching the TV. But I also wanted to give her a chance to explore, give her a chance to intentionally rest before the new school year started. So it was a moment for both of us. And we did all sorts of things, y'all. There were bees involved. We visited lots of bees. We explored our area in a new way and just kind of being, that saying where you're like tourist in your own neighborhood. We did that. We explored new things, new museums, new environmental centers, all the things. We were just, curious, like what's out there? What can we do? What can we get into? We also, as a family, experienced the water park with 3 little ones for the first time. Lots of July 4th. And then Gerald and I actually celebrated 8 years of marriage in Montreal, Canada, which was huge, y'all. When I tell you, really leaning into my circle during that time and allowing, not just me, but both of us to take a step away from being parents for a little while and just enjoying each other's company, enjoying exploring a new city and allowing ourselves again that theme, allowing ourselves to rest. Another big thing that happened for me this summer is that I got to partner with one of um, our local consignment stores here in Georgia. And so I actually got to partner up with Rialana, the one in, I'm trying to think of it is in like Swanee, Duluth, the one at Sugarloaf Mall. If you're in Georgia, please go check them out. But I got the opportunity to partner up with them and offer some snacks to them for the mamas that came in to shop during one of their most recent sales. And that was really eye-opening to me as I kind of step into this new lane and expanding my business and understanding exactly, just how I can support my community, how I can continue to support mamas. And so that was huge for me. Another thing that I did and that you're going to start seeing these shifts in my business, right? And we're going to talk about that in a little bit, like what is going on in Ebony's world as far as business. But I was very intentional about leaning into sisterhood this summer. And so I spent some time at the She Is Made for More mastermind and some unlockings happened. I had the opportunity to do a brand shoot by the just amazing Nev. I will link her Instagram in the show notes, y'all. When I tell you she was able to capture, not only where I am today in my business, but also kind of like where I am wanting to take things. Just phenomenal, phenomenal the way she was able to take my vision and make it a reality. But then also just being able to sit in that circle of sisterhood and truly just owning and unlocking another level of my own food story. As I chat about this with my clients now about, their own food story and how we're reframing and reshaping and rewriting our food story and our family's food story. But for me, it wasn't expected to unlock that next level of like where my foundation started, where my food story started was huge. So y'all are going to see a lot more of that as I share really just unapologetically, where I started and how I've reframed and reshaped and rewritten my own story and how I'm continuing to write now, my own family story and helping shape my kids' food stories. It's a whole thing, y'all. So get ready. Honestly, just over the summer, just witnessing the shifts that happened when I allowed myself to rest, just unimaginable. Some crazy things can happen when you are allowing yourself rest without, quote unquote, having it as a reward for working hard and things like that. And I really, you know, understood like how much resistance was there for me before. You kind of have to unlearn thinking that way that, yes, I'm able to get this rest because I've worked so hard. No, rest is your birthright. You do not have to earn it. Magical things happen in your mind, your body, and your soul when you allow it to rest. So if you're a business owner, heck, if you're a mama, anything, right? When we embrace rest, you might come across things or you might be more open to different perspective shifts. You might start to show up differently because you've allowed that to happen. And that is truly what you guys are going to see from now on is because I am being very intentional in the way that I'm allowing rest into my life. And all of that to say this summer I did gardening again. And of course, it's another year of learning, but having my garden has been teaching me how to accept abundance. And so after doing, all of these activities and things, being able to always come home and be grateful for the abundance that's here, of course, with my family, that we have a roof over our heads, and things like that, that we are well taken care of, but actually being able to see the physical representation of that in my garden and having the earth actually reflect back to me what I was feeling inside was actually beautiful. And I am excited because I am continuing this year and moving or transitioning my summer garden into a fall garden. And so I continue to accept that abundance into my life. And y'all, coming back from that summer break, I am entering a new season of intention. You've heard this word now, many times over this episode so far. And it's not just a new season of intention in my life, being intentional with rest, but it's also in how I am now deciding to run my business. The kids just started school recently. Yes, now I have a second grader and a pre-K student. I cannot even still wrap my head around how fast these kids are moving through school. Just blows my mind. But because of that, because of them returning to school and starting school for the first time, there's now more space in my day, right? And more space means I'm able to allow myself to have a little bit more focus, allow myself to have more vision and more room to really build what I'm being called to build. And so you've seen Cook Like a Mother. We have had now 3 rounds of Cook Like a Mother, and she is evolving. This third round, if you haven't seen the news yet, but this third and final round is going to be the last round that it looks the way it does. Because when I was in that circle of sisterhood in California on the business retreat, I really started to feel the pull towards something deeper, right? Something that was more everlasting, more evergreen, more connected, more like a community that truly never stops pouring into each other, where we just continue to evolve and grow over time together. And that's what I've kind of been building here as well on the podcast. But if you've ever been curious or you were waiting to join Cook Like a Mother and you're like, oh man, like, did I miss it? No. No, you have not missed it because, like I said, she is evolving, not going away. And I am really excited to be able to share more with you about the upcoming changes and really to just be along for the ride. If you aren't following me on Instagram yet, go ahead and hit the follow button because you're gonna want to stay locked into what's coming. But then also, if you're not on my email list yet, that is also another very intentional way that I'm reaching out with my audience. And so you're going to want to get locked into that too. All of this will be in the show notes, love. So don't worry about being like, oh my gosh, I got to go find the things. I got you. And so let's talk about the vibe for this season, right? Because we are now almost approaching, I feel like it's about 2.5 years now, but we're approaching like the 3-year mark of Thrive Like a Mother. And this season, you're going to hear the word again, intentional living, rooted presence, and expansion without burnout. That is what we are focusing on this season. We're no longer in this hustle season to truly prove anything anymore because we are now moving with purpose. We are resting when we need to without it having to be earned. We are letting the joy lead us and we are reclaiming our voice one step and one choice at a time. And so, honestly, you can expect like these solo episodes, obviously, one on one when I get to chat with you. We've got so many powerful guest conversations coming to you this season and so many reflections that are going to leave you at the end of each episode feeling just a little bit more lighter, feeling just a little bit more seen, and a whole lot more grounded in your own journey that you're on. that is how I wanna support you this season because it's not about doing more anymore. It's really about doing what matters in our life and doing it well, doing it well. And so before I go, I want to ask you something to reflect on. And as we're entering into this final quarter of the year, which is insane to me how we've gotten here so fast. But I want to bring it back to the summer, right? I want to have you reflect on what you're celebrating from this summer. Maybe it's a new perspective that you picked up. Maybe it's a new relationship that you gained this summer. Maybe it's a new dream that you were starting to build because you can. Maybe it's you embracing more rest, whatever that is. Journal that out. And then if you feel called, DM me, please, or, send me a message, tag me on Instagram to share what it is that you're celebrating, no matter how big or small you think it is, because I truly love to celebrate with y'all. I truly love to hype you up and, like I said, support you in this season and support you in your journey because we're in this together always. And I am grateful, as always, for each and every one of y'all who presses play, who keeps sharing the podcast, who keeps showing up even on the hard days to have me pour into y'all because that's truly why I do this. Is because I want to make sure you know you are never, never alone. And so season four is here, y'all. And I already feel so good about this season and the shifts that are happening. So until next time, keep showing up for yourself, keep thriving, and keep embracing rest without it having to be earned.